Chelsea Basham there. I make my own sunshine.
And
as I said, Chelsea will be joining us live in the studio in a couple of weeks, so stay tuned for that one.
And joining us on the line now is a lady that we haven't caught up with for some time, but we thought we'd better check out what's going on because I heard something that she was going to love me or something. Oh, that's the name of a song. It's Kathy Coleman. G'day, Kathy. How are you?
Hello, Darren. Hello, Tracy. I'm great, thanks.
How are you going, Kathy? Now, it has been about 11 months since we last spoke to you. Now, when we did, you were heading off to Nashville.
I was, to record my second album, which has all been done and released now, and got the second single out on radio at the moment.
So, of course, the new album is called Hot and Bothered.
It is.
And I have to tell you that, because the first one was Waiting on a Good Man, and then we're Hot and Bothered. So you must have found him.
I did.
Oh, you got him. So now that's where I'm Gonna Love You, the single, comes from, is it?
It is, yeah, very true. It applies to a lot of people, you know, when you first see that person that you fall in love with, and that's what the song's about.
Now, when you went over to Nashville, you already had all your songs written, ready to go, or did you sneak in a new one while you were over there?
No, I had them all done, Tracy, and the producer had them months before I went over and did all the bass tracks and emailed them back to me, and I was just singing along to them in the car just every day, you know, just so when we went over there, the time in the studio was cut down and it just went really smoothly. So, yeah, it was a great process considering it's the other side of the world. It's just amazing what can be done now.
You're not wrong. Now, where did you record the first album?
First album was done at Longhorn Studios in Curry with Rob Wilson.
Okay, so tell us the difference between that one and then the one over in Nashville.
I think the second, the experience the second time round was a lot easier for me. I think because I'd already done one album, and it's just, I mean, I had the best musicians in Australia on my first album. The second time I wanted to go over there because they do music all the time. They're just fantastic at country music and the sounds and the pedal style, which I love. And the Australian dollar was great, and I got onto a producer and I got on great with him, and I just thought I'd give it a go and see what the end result would be, and I'm absolutely thrilled with it because it's a beautiful album, beautiful sound, and I've got some of the best musicians on this album as well.
That's a really important point that you make as far as the Australian dollar. It's probably a reason why there's more and more artists taking the opportunity of getting a really good value for money work done in the US, considering the buying rate.
It is, because it's you certainly do have to take that into account, because our dollar's been down to 60 cents, and you certainly would have to take that into account when you're adding all your costs up, and whether it's viable to go over there and do it or do it in Australia.
Yeah, so get the opportunity while you can to get over and do it there. What you mentioned that you'd learnt so much from your first album. Give us an example of something that you knew was a level or of improvement that you wanted to get with your second album from what you'd learnt from your first one.
Yeah, I think the first time around you're a little bit nervous and just not knowing the process and how everything happens and has to run. And I think that I was a lot more calmer the second time going into the studio, and I knew what the process was and what had to be done in order. And and it was just a lot easier. You know, when I went into the studio to put the vocals down, I wasn't stressed at all. It went very naturally. And like I said, I got on really well with the producer, like I've known him for 20 years, and I think that really helps with your songs, and that the producer also understands your songs, because I write all my own songs, so it was great that he did understand where I was coming from and could give me the sound that I wanted, so it was just great.
Just on that, so you say he understands the songs. Is in this process that you send you sing the songs to him first, or give him a copy of the songs, or is it like getting to an end result of what you want in that song? How does the producer understand what you're getting through in your piece of your piece of magic, so to speak? Yeah,
well, what I do is I go into a local studio here in Maitland, and I put down just the guitar and the vocals, and I email them over to Nashville, and with a really big long email, because when I write a song I can hear the finished song in my head, so I know what instruments I want in there, I know the sound that I want, so I try to put all of that in an email to him to let him know what I want in that song, and then it just goes backwards and forwards until we're both happy.
Now, Kathy, our show, we actually do country, comedy and crossover. Now, we just had the big Urban Country Music Festival here, and we sent a few of our friends onto a mechanical bull. Now, last time we spoke to you, you've got Nutcracker over there that does a bit of performing with you every now and then, which to our audience, it is a mechanical bull. What about a song about Nutcracker?
Yeah, I might have to certainly write a song about Nutcracker. We no longer have Nutcracker.
Oh,
yeah.
So
we sold him. We finished our residency at Budeye Barn in December, and he was part of our show. So we did sell him in March to another entertainment company in Newcastle, and he was actually at CMC Rocks the Hunter this year.
Ah, well, there you go. But you must have, honestly, watching, we only saw probably maybe a half an hour over the weekend of different people on them. You must have some fantastic stories about Nutcracker and the people that get on it and how they get off.
Yes, yeah, very funny, and it's great to watch. And yeah, I certainly should sit down and write a song about Nutcracker one day.
Well, that's what came straight to my mind when I was watching them. I'm going, oh no, Kathy's song, she's got to be writing one.
And it certainly would be a comedy song.
And a big cheerio to our friend Ian, who had a knuckle cracker.
Oh, he did.
On the weekend with the rope on his experience with the bulls, so good for him. Well, Kathy, it's a busy night for us. We've got about 4 more interviews to get through before we get through. Thanks for your time. We're going to go out now with your song, I'm Gonna Love You, and it's been, as usual, a pleasure to catch up with you, Kathy, and good luck with the new album, and that's Hot and Bothered.
Great, thank you, and thank you to all your listeners, and thanks, Darren and Tracy.
Thanks, Kathy. Here we are right now.